There is a moment every man has felt at least once in his life, but almost nobody talks about it. A moment where ether shifts, where silence becomes charged. Where a woman looks at you in a way that feels almost like an invitation. But you don't know what the next step is. You feel something subtle but powerful, something real, something human. And yet you hesitate because, no, that one wrong word can close the door in one. Right word can open a connection capable of pulling her Kleiserthon you expected. Most men underestimate how deeply words affect attraction. They think women fall for look status or confidence alone. But there is the truth. A woman's mind is a world, a universe. A landscape filled with meanings, memories, desires, fears, and hopes that she rarely shows openly. And when a man asks the right question, the kind that bypasses her surface and touches her deeper layers, everything changes. Her eyes warm, her tone softens, her guard drops just slightly. It's just enough for you to see something true behind the mask. She shows Thorold, and it happens fast. One moment is giving short, polite answers, and the next, she's leaning in, expanding, opening, revealing parts of herself she never shares with men who only speak in cliches. Most men never access this version of her, not because they lack attraction, but because they never asked kinds of questions that awaken her emotional instinct to connect. Today, that changes for you. Today, you're going to learn the 6 questions women love to answer. Questions that make her feel alive, seen, appreciated, and effortlessly drawn toward you. These questions aren't cheesy pickup lines. They aren't manipulative. They aren't shallow. They're deeply human, psychologically potent, and silently magnetic. If you ask them with calmness, presence, and stoic grounding, you will unlock a side of her that very few may never genuinely experience. Let's step into that world together. Every woman carries an inner voice, quiet, layered, and often hidden beneath daily routines, outer appearances, and the roles she feels she must play. That inner voice rarely gets invited out because most conversations she has with men are predictable, repetitive, or transactional. Men ask what she does, where she's from, what her hobbies are. But those questions don't make her feel anything. They don't spark her mind. They don't stir her emotions. They don't challenge her imagination. And a woman wants to feel intrigued. She wants to feel discovered. She wants to feel understood. She wants to feel that she is talking to a man whose ease beyond her surface. She wants a conversation that doesn't just feel silence but creates connection. The irony is that most men think attraction is created through performance. Acting confident, acting alpha, acting detached. But a stoic man understands something different. Attraction grows through presence, not performance. Through curiosity, not control. Through grounded attention, not forced charm. When you ask a woman the right questions she genuinely is answering, you aren't just ticking. You're building an emotional bridge between her world and yours. You're showing her that being around you feels different. It feels safe. It feels interesting. It feels alive. And women naturally gravitate toward men who make them feel alive. These 6 questions are designed to do exactly that. Each one taps into a different part of her psychology. Her imagination, her desires, her memories, her dreams, her identity, and her emotional rhythm. When you ask them, she'll feel something shift inside her, often without even realizing why. She associates you with thought feeling. And once a woman associates a man with emotional stimulation, she keeps thinking about him even when he's not around. My name is Amelia, and welcome to Infinite Wisdom. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 6 questions women absolutely love answering. Use them wisely. Use them with presence and watch what happens. Question 1. What's something you've always wanted to never have? This question taps in tune of the deepest psychological cants within a woman's mind. The emotional hunger for possibility. Humans soar, wired to imagine futures. But women on average experience this imaginative emotional landscape with far more intensity and detail. When you ask Hertz's question, you aren't simply making conversation. You are opening a door into her unrealized potential. You are giving her permission to step into a parallel version of herself, one she may have never verbalized to anyone. Women love answering this because it lights up part of them that feels adventurous, bold, curious, and unfiltered. And the beauty of it is this: she can choose how vulnerable she wants to be. Some women will keep it light, saying they want to try a new sport, travel somewhere new, working careers. Others will go deeper and reveal something they've secretly desired but never had the courage, time, or emotional support to pursue. Mabesh wants to write a book. Maybe Shoens to move to another country. Mabesh wants to study something completely different. Maybe she wants to try a type of relationship dynamic she has never spoken about. The more she shares, the more emotional investment she places into the conversation. And here's the key. The moment she begins imagining a new experience, she unconsciously the man who asked the question with a feeling of expansion, with excitement, with possibility. This is psychological anchoring at its purest form. Even if she doesn't realize it, she begins linking you with her inner sense of adventure. And that creates attraction because attraction is fundamentally a desire to move towards something. When you ask this question calmly, confidently, without judgment, you become the man who allows her imagination to breathe. That's rare. That's powerful. And women feel it instantly. Question 2. What's the most meaningful part of your day? Most men ask about a woman's day out of politeness, not interest. They ask, how is your day? And expect a short answer. But this question is different. It forces her to scan her emotional landscape, not her schedule. It makes her slow down, reflect, and identify what actually matters to her. And very few men ever ask a woman what feels meaningful. Women love answering this question because it acknowledges that they are more than their routines. It tells her without needing to be sad that you are the kind of man who cares about the deeper layers. Her values, her inner life, her emotional rhythm. When she answers, she reveals what nourishes her spirit. Maybe it's her morning coffee ritual where she finally has spies. Maybe it's the gym where she feels strong and in control. Maybe it's time with her pet, her family, her friends. Maybe it's a moment she'll dedicate to creativity, spirituality, journaling, or learning something new. Whatever she chooses as meaningful becomes a direct window into her internal world. And here's where a psychological connection forms. When a woman talks about what feels meaningful, she shifts into emotional sincerity. Her tone softens, her eyes relax, she becomes more open. She begins associating you with a sense of calm reflection, which creates an emotional safety is not just attractive to women. It is irresistible. The more she feels understood, the more she allows herself to be seen. And the more she feels seen, the more she wants to stay connected to the person who may feel that way. Question 3. What kind of people do you feel most comfortable around? This question is a masterpiece in disguise. It looks simple, but it unlocks an extraordinary amount of psychological information. When love answering this because it allows them to define their emotional pre-force without feeling like they're talking about you directly. They get to describe their ideal emotional environment, one where they feel free, relaxed, expressive, safe, and appreciated. And here's the truth. When people describe the type of individual she feel comfortable with, they are actually describing the qualities they crave in a partner. If she says she likes people who are calm, it's tired of chaos. If she says she likes funny people, if she says she likes ambitious people, she wants to grow. If she says she likes deep thinkers, she feels misunderstood by superficial men. If she says she likes emotionally stable people, she's been hurt by instability. Whatever she answers provides a roadmap to her emotional world. But here's the deeper psychological layer. When she describes types of people she feels comfortable with, she is subtly checking whether you match those traits. Women do this instinctively. They compare their internal preference list with the emotional energy you project. If you'll match even half of her description, she begins seeing you as someone she can be herself around. And when a woman feels comfortable being herself with a man, She naturally becomes warmer, more open, more expressive, and more affectionate. Men often chase attraction, when what they should be building is comfort. Comfort bears attraction. More often than attraction births comfort. This question helps you create that dynamic instantly. Question 4. What's something about yourself you're proud of but rarely talk about? This question is where everything changes. Women re-religiate the opportunity to talk about their strengths. Without fear of being judged as arrogant or attention-seeking, society teaches them to be humble, quiet, modest, and self-minimizing. Beauty. Every woman carries secret victories, moments of courage, personal achievements, private milestones, quiet strengths that she hides from the world. This question gives her permission to share something that matters deeply to her but rarely sees light. It's intimate without being invasive. It's powerful without being overwhelming. And it's emotional without being too personal. Women love answering this because it makes them feel recognized in a way that is profoundly rare. She might tell Yao about overcoming insecurity, racing herself from a difficult past, educating herself alone, helping her family, creating something meaningful, or developing a skill she's proud of. These stories reveal her character, resilience, emotional maturity, and inner strength. When she shares something she rarely talks about, her emotional walls soften. She begins trusting you. She begins feeling understood. She feels seen. And once a woman feels seen not for her body, her beauty, or her charm, but for her strength, she forms a bond with the man who invited that truth out of her. Women don't fall for men who impress them. They fall for men who invite their soul to breathe. This question does exactly that. Question 5. What's something that instantly relaxes you or brings you peace? This question strikes at the core of a woman's emotional equilibrium. Women are often overloaded mentally, socially, emotionally. They are expected to jugglerize responsibility, maintain composure, manage social dynamics, and constantly adapt. Peace for many women is rare and precious. When you ask her what brings her peace, you are touching her emotional sanctuary. You are asking about the part of her life that centers her, the rituals that ground her, the habits that recharge her spirit. And she loves answering it because it shifts her into a soothing emotional state. My Besh finds peace in reading, long walks, nature, warm showers, certain scents, music, cooking, painting, silence, meditation, journaling, or simply lying in bed. Whatever it is, her answer reveals how she nurtures herself. And here's the deeper psychological at play. When she describes shed relaxes her, she subconsciously begins to feel that relaxation in themament. If she feels calm during the conversation, she neurologically cants that calmness to you. You become an emotional anchor, a source of peace rather than stress. Most men trigger tension in women by talking too fast, trying too hard, or pushing attraction. But a stoic man triggers peace through presence. And peace is far more magnetic than pressure. When a woman associates you with calmness, she instinctively gravitates toward you, even if she doesn't fully understand we. Question 6. What's something you'll look forward to in the future? This is Sony of the most powerful questions you can ever ask a woman because it brings her into her forward. Moving emotional timeline. Women love answering this question because it gives them room to express their hopes, aspirations, dreams, intentions, and personal evolution. It gives them agency. It gives them vision. It allows them to talk about the woman they are becoming. And when a woman talks about her future, she is essentially sharing her emotional compass. Maybe she wants to build a career she loves. Maybe she dreams of traveling. Maybe she wants deep emotional connections. Maybe she wants growth, peace, confidence, stability, or creative fulfillment. Whatever she looks forward to reveals her direction. And here is where the psychological magic shows. When a woman shares her future, she subconsciously imagines who in her present life might fit into that future. If you are grounded, calm, attentive, and present while she speaks, her mind begins forming a connection. This man understands where I'm going. That's extremely powerful. Attraction without emotional alignment fades. Attraction with shared direction grows. When Shaw sees that you respect, listen to, and value her future, you become automatically elevated in her emotionality. You stop being just another man. You become the man who respects her path. And women feel deeply drawn toward men who understand their direction, not just their appearance or personality. A high-value man doesn't try to impress a woman. He invites her to express hers. He creates emotional depth, no through performance, but through presence. The man who knows what to ask becomes the man she feels connected to without even realizing why. Questions are not just words. They are bridges that build them wisely. If this video resonated with you, take a moment now and subscribe to Infinite Wisdom. This channel is made for men who want to understand human behavior at a deeper level, who want to date with intention, who want to build unshakable presence and emotional intelligence. In this space, we explore the psychology that most people overlook. The psychology thought quietly shapes relationships, attraction, connection, and personal power. Your growth isn't random. It's intentional, and every video on this channel is a step toward becoming Vimen. You could be in the comments. Tell me which question you're going to try first. Share your experiences, your insights, your challenges. This community is built on honesty, calmness, and the pursuit offers an old mastery. Thank you for banger. Thank you for listening. Remember, a Stoic man doesn't chase connection. He creates it through presence.